In today's News Daily video, I'll be speaking about the latest reports surrounding Dries Mertens being linked with our club. I'll be speaking about the future of Olivier Giroud and his potential move to Inter Milan. And to end things, I'll be speaking about us being linked with Lille's Brazilian centre-back, Gabriel. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lines TV, and if you do like today's video, you guys smash that like button, help me get over 1,500 likes, and one more quick plug, I have released a match preview for our game tomorrow against Burnley, so if you guys want to watch that after this video or before, you'll find it somewhere in the cards above. But boys, on that note, we start with the first story for today, and I want to talk about Olivier Giroud and his potential move to Inter Milan. Now, this story has been reported by Fabrizio Romano, and he's saying that Giroud is currently in Italy with his rep and his team to get a move to Inter Milan finalised. Now, personal terms have been met between Giroud and Inter Milan, and it seems like he will be signing a contract up to 2022. So, hats off to Giroud's agent, who seems to be just unbelievable at getting Giroud the best possible contracts time and time again. Of course, there's a small stumbling block when it comes to the price valuation. Now, this club, we want to sell Giroud for up to 10 million euros, which is about 8.5 million. Inter Milan have only offered 3.4 million. At this point in time, there's about a 5 million difference between our valuation and Inter's, and hopefully this thing gets sorted soon. I'm sick and tired of how we always scrape for like the tiniest bits of money. At this point in time, does it really make that much of a difference? I mean, I guess it does for financial fair play. I'm being a bit silly, I admit that, but sometimes these small fees just seem to complicate things for no reason. Hopefully Inter Milan and Conte is really desperate for Giroud, and they end up paying the money, because it would be quite frustrating if we price out Giroud from signing for Inter, knowing that the player's going to be leaving on a free in 6 months' time anyway. Hopefully we don't screw ourselves over because agreed. But anyway, for like the 10th time, I'm going to say good luck to Olivier Giroud. I feel like I say that every single time I speak about him. It seems like now he's very close to leaving. He's currently in Italy, so let's hope that with the pressures of Giroud being there, we are going to drop our valuation a tiny bit and get this deal done. Now we move on to the second story for today, and that's in regards to the latest surrounding Dries Mertens being linked with our club. Now, at this point in time, we are really struggling to find quality attacking options in this window. That's because clubs don't want to sell, or we're getting priced out. And the third reason is clubs prefer to sell in the summer instead of right now, where it's going to jeopardize what they can do before the season ends. So it doesn't make too much sense. And I thought because of this, it's about time the club starts to become a bit more creative when it comes to finding these solutions that the team needs. And when I woke up and I saw us being linked with Dries Mertens, I was quite happy. Now, this story is coming out from France, from MERTENS Sport, and they're suggesting that we have held talks with the player. Now, this isn't the first time we've done this over the years. Most times nothing's come from that, and that's typical of football and how transfers work. Clubs, reps, agents, players are constantly talking left, right, and centre non-stop, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're guaranteed to sign that player at the end of the window. Currently, us and Inter Milan have both spoken to the player, who is on his final 6 months left before his deal runs out in the summer. So what does that tell us? That tells us that 1, we could wait for Dries until his contract does expire and then just sign him for absolutely nothing. Or we can pay a small fee to Napoli right now to take the player off their hands and sign him for this window. And hopefully that could be something that we do, because I feel like Dries Mertens has the qualities, the capabilities, and most importantly the personality as well, to really help this young team start to do things and really help us cross that finishing line of securing a top 4 spot at the end of the season. At this point in time, Lampard clearly doesn't trust Giroud, who doesn't really suit the system, and he doesn't rate Michy Batshuayi, who's been given quite a lot of opportunities and hasn't really taken them yet. So it seems like we need to turn to the market to find that quality backup replacement to Tammy Abraham. We're limited, and I think Dries Mertens is that guy we need to go for. Now, the most obvious reason is that I know all of us thought straight away is his ability to play in so many different positions in the final thirds. Playing up front and down the right, these are 2 areas that this team really needs, and the fact that Mertens is naturally left-footed makes things even better, you guys. Tammy Abraham does need to be rested at points of this season, because we can't rely on a young 22-year-old who's just started to make his name at the very highest level of football to play week in, week out consistently without being drained, without being fatigued, without his form dipping. So it's obvious that we do need a quality replacement, and in Dries, I think he'd be that perfect guy. Now here's how I see us using Dries. We either use him down the right hand side where he plays up front alongside guys like your Tammys, your Williams, your Masons, etc, etc, or Lampard may decide to use him up front instead of Tammy Abraham, or even up front alongside Tammy. And that's what you get from a player like Dries Mertens. You know, he's very good in the final third. The fact that this guy was originally a winger that was turned into a striker and really found even new forms and went to a completely new level really sums up just how good this guy is as an offensive player in that final third. But irrespective of football for 1 second, I think that Dries would have a very positive impact to the squad and the squad's personality, because I think that they kind of go hand in hand, they complement each other. Dries was a very popular guy in Napoli, very popular, lots of players like him, and he kind of has a bit of a Chelsea connection with some of the other players at this club, like Chalobah back in the day, Jorginho, etc, etc. Due to his age being at 32, naturally he has that experience, and when he's like nearly 10 years older than quite a lot of the young players we have right now, well, it seems like the perfect opportunity to maybe sign an experienced quality player on a short-term option, use his experience to help us get to the Champions League, and obviously in the meantime he can help maybe coach some of the players, give them some tips and tricks, and really help them cope with, and really give some advice on areas in which they could help improve their game. When you have a young and hungry team, you want to mix that team in with a handful of experienced players between the age of, let's say, your late 20s and your early 30s. I think that helps with experience, and at this stage of the season, I think experience is the most important thing that this team needs to help us cross that finish line of getting a top 4 finish. But anyway, you guys, before I end my closing thoughts with the Mertens story, I want to bring up something that Mertens said last year in regards to speculation that he could sign for us and play under Sarri again. And here's what Mertens had to say. Maybe in 1 year, I'm free. So maybe, you never know. Maybe Sarri is going to call me. We will see. Sarri does not have an off button, Mertens added. I think he sleeps 1 hour a night and he's always thinking about football. Maybe because he had less time because he arrived in the game late and he is playing catch up, I learned a lot from him. So I think this gives us a brief indication that Mertens would be open to the idea of coming here if there was stronger interest from our part, and I like to think that there was. I think Mertens at his age, with his qualities in attack and even his form this season, 9 goals in about 22 games, where most times he's been playing as a sub as well, I think that's a pretty good return. And I feel like he'd be open to the idea of playing a more backup supportive role to really help Tammy Abraham, and I think right now that's what we need. Are you guys happy with the Dries Mertens links? Would you like to see him out of all the players that we have been linked with in January? You know what, you guys, actually, I feel like I might have to do a separate video on this matter, but you know what? I feel like I might have to do a separate video on realistic transfer options. So if you guys want to see that video, make sure you like or comment below. And on that point, we move on to the final story for today, and that's with regards to Lille's young Brazilian defender Gabriel, who's been linked with a move to our club. Now, this story has been reported by Portuguese journalist Marcus Alves, and he's suggesting that we've been offered the opportunity to sign Lille's young Brazilian defender. And to be honest, you guys, I'm not even too excited, because it feels like in this window now that agents and clubs know that we are able to sign players again, it feels like every single agent in Europe is just like pushing any and every single player towards us, and it seems like Gabriel is the latest player. Now, in the games that we played against Lille, I thought that Gabriel looks a bit decent. Did I see enough from him which is like, wow, what an incredible player that we need to spend all the money on, that we need to buy so we can replace your Tamoris, your Zumas, your Rudigers? No, I never got that vibe at all. And a lot of times in transfer windows, you know, this stuff always happens. Agents gassing up stories, agents trying to boost interest in their players to generate some buzz, some transfers, because of course, you know, if you're selling players or signing new contracts or whatever, agents get their fees. So that's what it's all about, you guys. And you might be wondering who this agent is in particular. It's none other than Bertolucci, and by now we should all know that Bertolucci does have a long history with this club, being involved in deals to bring Oscar, Willian, Luiz, and so many more Brazilians. And it feels like maybe Bertolucci might be either offering the club an opportunity to sign one of his clients to really put us in the front running for maybe other clients that's under his belt. That could be a small possibility. That's happened in football before, so you never know. But if you're asking me, I feel like Bertolucci's seen an opening where he knows that the club are in demand for a defender that does have a left foot. And in Gabriel, he has those qualities. Left-footed, quite tall, decent aerially, and passing out from the back, it's alright, it's not too bad. But as Frank Lampard himself said, we are only going to do business for the right players. You know, this isn't the 17-18 season anymore where any type of agent can come in, gas their players up, and we stupidly buy anyone. Oh, they were such dark times, you guys. Like when we had no director of football, literally it was a free-for-all. Anything was happening. All these scouts trying to push players that they want, agents forcing players onto us. It was absolutely ridiculous. And that's how you end up with guys like Zappacosta. So all I can say is, let's not take this report too serious. I don't think it's anything other than agents trying to, you know, boost the profile of their players and get more interest in them. But on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. As I said, I have released a match preview for the Burnley game tomorrow, so if you want more Blue Lions TV, I suggest you watch it. I got you guys covered. On that note, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow as well. Hopefully I can get a haircut before the game tomorrow, but it's going to be a bit difficult. But regardless, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions TV, signing out.